type of coaching, face-to-face, online. After COVID, online coaching has become a big thing. We often get asked, what is better, online or face-to-face?
One big thing I want to ask to everyone is PTE test online or face to face? If you take a genuine PTE test, it's not like you are sitting at home and you are doing it. But the student, there will be lots of students sitting. So definitely go in that environment which definitely resembles the PTE environment.
It's not really a controversial question, but a lot of institutes out there. Can a student make an informed decision as to which institute is the best?
Someone that provides you with good knowledge, definitely. Don't look for money, don't look for anything else, that how much is the popularity, how much is the thing. Whenever you go to a center or an institute, always ask the tutor to assess you. And then and there you will come to know what is going on.
A lot of students come back after the test, they couldn't get the desired score. Single biggest mistake you feel they do on the test day. Welcome to EnglishWise. Today we have someone very special from EnglishWise Melbourne, Mahak Ahuja, very experienced PTE and IELTS trainer. She's been teaching for 7 years. She's taught more than 5,000 students. This is a remarkable journey and achievement, and I'm so proud to have her here today on the show. I feel that today is the day when I'm going to get you to share some of the most exciting stuff when it comes to PTE. A lot of stuff which people are not aware of, and some of the stuff you might not be sharing on YouTube. So my job is to give as much value we can to our audience here today, and I'm pretty sure we'll be able to get there. Welcome once again. How are you feeling today?
Thank you so much for welcoming me, and I'm feeling just so good today. And definitely I'm going to share lots of new things for the students, for you as well,
Thank you.
Someone has never heard of maybe, and going to just tell students everything about PTE.
Awesome, thank you. I'm going to jump straight into my first question. There's all this news out there that PTE is not accepting, but the templates that have been working for years and years are not working in the test anymore. Is that true?
Yes, definitely. That's 100% green thing that PT is upgrading, plus templates needs to be changed. Why? Because we as a person, we don't use old things a lot of time. Now it's a time for something new. So PT has introduced something new now. They don't want the old templates. They want something new. They want something from the student side, not the cram thing. So definitely you can use the templates, but not the old ones. You need to have something new with your own version.
But my question is, how important are templates? Like, if someone doesn't want to use templates, can they still get the score, the desired score, or you have to use templates when it comes to PT test?
Yes, definitely. Students, if the student is willing to speak the describe image or lecture, which is a part of PT speaking, if they want to do it by themselves, that's a big plus thing. If they want to go for, but sometimes students feel anxious and nervous that we definitely need a template. So them templates are also helpful. It's neither wrong or right for the templates. But if the student wants to get 8 each or 9 each in their PTE, personally from my experience as well, students should go just speak whatever they think and they speak their own self. That's it.
Correct, I agree. And so many templates out there.
Yes.
So many private institutions, providers teaching different kind of templates. If I'm a student who wants to go for the PT test, there's so much information out there, particularly templates.
Yes.
Most of the coaching providers will use similar template, but still every template can be different. So as a student, what template do I use?
Yes, definitely. First of all, we should know what is exactly a template is. What we mean by template, we usually say template. Template is basically something which is rich in vocabulary, which helps you to cover out most of the content of your PTE sections, anything. If a student want to use the template, then definitely he or she should use the template which has rich vocabulary, plus a content that is useful in every section, such as describe image. If we say, there should be a template that has that vocabulary which is it's everywhere. It can be used in every kind of image. If it's a bar graph, pie chart, that should be relevant to that. It shouldn't be like you have to use so many kinds of templates. Stick to one, rich in a vocabulary, good content that can help you to cover all the things.
Right. So template is more like a structure. It's like a skeleton where you can fit in pretty much anywhere.
Yes.
And you can use any template but stick to one.
Yes.
Right. I think that's a good advice because there's so many templates out there and students often ask us which one to use. But I have one tricky question here. You teach at EnglishWise. You might be using one particular template. Now, if a student walks in with another template,
Yes.
maybe this student had a prior coaching session with someone else, already got a template from a friend. How do you advise, and what would be your advice in that case if your template is different from the template this student has?
Oh, that's a tricky question. Well, so we at EnglishWise, we never say that this template is wrong or someone is using the bad template or nothing. We at EnglishWise, we just need that student should get the score whether by this or that template. First thing, we definitely have assessment sessions for the student when it's his first day. So I check the template. If the template is rich in vocabulary, good words, everything is fine, then student should go for that. Why we need to change it?
Okay, beautiful.
That's the thing.
Makes sense. You have such a rich experience in training students. You've seen these students going into the exam, coming back to you, sometimes with success, sometimes with failure. I wouldn't say failure, but they haven't got their desired score. What is the most common trait that you see in students who do get the score in the first go after coaching?
Big thing, consistent practice. Mark my words, this can definitely help you to get your desired score. If one of the student who is consistently practicing, following everything, it's not like you are practicing for one day and you are not there for 7 days or another 6 days. You just practice for 2 hours and you are not doing anything. What I say is PTE is not Pearson test of English. According to me, it's practice test of English. So more you practice, more it works. So consistent practice is the key. And my students, if you have seen our page, the big thing I highlight is regular practice. That is definitely going to help you to get the score.
Right. Thank you. But then I feel it's a little bit of a broad answer in the sense like, yes, practice is important, consistent practice, but I'm pretty sure some of the students might be wondering how much practice is enough and how do I structure my practice? If you can talk a little bit about structuring and what number of hours we're looking at and how long.
Okay, just honestly, I will give you opinion. The thing is, if you do anything for half an hour, if you are doing it with your willpower and you are understanding the things, you will get your score. It's not like you have to practice for 8 hours a day. If you don't feel like practicing, you're still on the computer typing, learning, cramming, you won't get the score this way. The big thing is you have to practice. You should be understanding, your whole mind should be over there. If you practice for at least 2 hours a day, good mindset, you are focused, good to go.
Quality is more important than quantity.
That's the thing.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, if you want me to tell you something like number of hours, I think 3 to 4 hours practicing is more than enough.
A day?
Yes.
And how many days a week?
If you are practicing 3 to 4 hours a day, then I think 4 to 5. That's more than enough. Follow a consistent study plan. I provide my students a study plan, so they follow that and things work.
So 3 to 4 hours a day for about 4 to 5 days. How long?
How long? Like
on an average.
If a student is aiming for 8 each, then he should practice every day the same hours I told you, at least for 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Yes.
This brings me to my next question. A lot of students come with a very fixed mindset that we want to sign up for a crash course. We want to go for 4 weeks course. In your opinion, what is the reality? How long does it actually take the student to get the score? And how much coaching do they really need? Because I know this for a fact. Students are very fixed, like this is how long they need the training. It's very rare that the student would ask us a question, how long do you think I need the training? They're like, we want 4 weeks course. How much do you charge? But I think it'll be good for the audience to know from someone like you that in reality, what's really the time frame we're looking at if I want a desired score of, let's say, 7 each. And then also if you can give me a time frame for someone who's aiming for 8 and the student is sitting somewhere at 6.5.
Okay. So the first thing when students come to us, what mentality they have is teacher is going to give everything. We have to cram and we are ready. It's never like that. Teacher is the one who can tell you how to do things, and how you present at your PT exam, it's completely on the student. Teachers do everything same for each and every student, but sometimes one student get 8 and sometimes students lack. The thing is mainly on the students. So one thing, if you have already taken the PT, anyone, they should definitely go for an assessment with a good tutor. Tutor can definitely help the students to know how much time frame they need. Definitely what I do with my students, if one of the student is there, she's aiming for 7 each, let's suppose. Usually what I'll do with her, I'll ask her to perform each and everything one question for me. I'll sit with her, I'll look at her previous PT scorecard, I'll just check her skill profile, where is she lacking. If she's lacking by 2 or 3 points, I'll straight away say go for 3 weeks, good practice, regular practice, you'll get your desired score. But if the student asks me that, Mahak, I am not able to practice every day, I can practice 2 days a week, then I usually say, if you are able to practice only 2 days, then I will definitely suggest you to go for 6 or 7 weeks practice.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's what you said. 3 to 4 hours of practice every day for 4 weeks. But that's usually not the case, because students don't spend 3 to 4 hours a day.
Yes.
Which means they will take more than a month to get the score. Now, can you give us a precise answer? On an average, how long do they really need? Because the fact is that they're not going to practice for 3 to 4 hours. Let's be honest.
Yes.
If they put in an hour, according to me, is more than enough. Not more than enough, but this is how it is, because they are busy with their studies, they're working, maybe a couple of jobs. So someone, let's say, can invest about an hour a day for 5 days a week, wants to get 8 or 7, sitting at 6.5. How long? How many weeks? How many months?
4
from your
weeks
experience?
is definitely a time frame. 4 weeks is like, if you are doing a good practice, 4 weeks is the time a student can definitely get the score. If he's like willing to go for everything, he understands the things, then definitely 4 weeks is exactly the time that he or she should go for.
Right.
Give themselves 4 weeks at least, because understanding the strategies, mock tests, lots of things. So for 1 week, we can go for strategy sessions. The next, you can go for a study plan, then go for mocks, and you're ready to go.
My question is, you said 3 to 4 hours a day.
Yes.
About 4 weeks.
Yes.
But if I can only invest 1 hour, can I still make it in 4 weeks?
Yes.
Okay, I
definitely.
Right.
If you are going good with you are understanding the things and you are practicing with a good focus, you can make it.
A lot of students come back after the test. They couldn't get the desired score. Single biggest mistake you feel they do on the test day?
Panic. They are usually like, what we gonna do? How we gonna do? They are prepared, but they have a doubt in themselves. Are we really gonna do that? That's the big question in their mind. They are not understanding what is PTE. They are thinking PTE is like something, it gonna judge you on your English communication skills, etc. and all things. Basically, PT judges your skills.
Correct.
If one understand that what PT needs, he or she gonna ace it. So first thing, if like the mistake is definitely the panic, because they don't know what exactly PT wants from them. So this is the thing.
Right. And any particular trait that you have seen among students during the preparation, which leads to their sort of failure because they didn't get the score. So, in other words, when you have a class of students, do you usually know who's going to get the score and who's not?
Yes.
Right.
That's a big thing. Being a teacher, we
Hmm.
definitely know who gonna get how much. An idea. I'm not saying like he gonna get 90 or I'm something like I know. I can give an idea like how much he or she can score based on their performance. Definitely. The big thing I would say, like when students are practicing, they look for so many varieties. They go for, okay, this video on YouTube taught me this. Mehak, you didn't tell me this. On YouTube, I saw this. This was the
Yeah, I
thing. This was the
know.
thing.
That's
That
a good
makes
one.
them confused. So be clear what you want. If the teacher is there, he or she is teaching you, she or he has the knowledge. So definitely just go on one track. Don't change your tracks and you'll get the score.
That was a great answer. I cannot agree more than this because there's so much of content out there. There's overload of information. It's important that you stick with one coach, one institution, and follow.
That's true.
Any particular strategy, any one question type you feel that can make or break the game of PT? Like one question, if you get it right in PT, can boost your PT score big time. And if you get it wrong, then like it's messed up. What is that one question type? And what's your advice on that question type?
Big thing, like I would not say most important and most highest marks it has, the repeat sentences. They are the king. They has the highest point, 51 points.
51 points for
Yes.
repeat sentence.
Yes, that gives marks to your listening and speaking. Students usually do it like they just listen it and they try to just speak it. The students need to know that PT don't check your memory skills. The PT wants how much you understand and how much you speak. Basically, if a speaker speaks a sentence that the lab is closed tomorrow, student is not understanding what the speaker is saying. They are like they want to cram, oh, this he spoke it, they want to deliver it. The first step for repeat sentences, always try to understand what the speaker says. If you want to get score, always try to understand. If the speaker says the lab is closed tomorrow, I repeated the lab is not open tomorrow. What's the difference? Just the vocabulary. But my answer is correct. I'm going to get the score. Students want to speak as it is. And being a human being, I don't think if someone is telling me something and I'm like, I gonna speak exactly the same words. That cannot be the thing. If you just
Right.
take the things in general as well, if I told you something and you have to tell the same thing to the other person, it won't, my words and your words will be completely different.
Yeah.
It's basically the understanding skills. Always try to understand the concept, the content in your repeat sentences, always, and focus mainly on the first half. The first half is going to get the score. This is the big change in PT, recent change. Try to understand the first part of your repeat sentence and then speak it. Whatsoever of the content you catch, just speak it in a flow with a good, clear manner, and you will get the score.
Wow. I feel so much passion in you. I've done quite a few podcasts with other trainers as well. They're all fantastic, very knowledgeable, but a lot of passion here. And I love that. Thank you so much. And I'm very hopeful that people are going to love this and going to get a lot of value.
My pleasure.
My next question would be around type of coaching, face to face, online. After COVID, online coaching has become a big thing. I remember like pre-COVID, there was barely any demand for online coaching. Like everybody wanted face to face classes. We often get asked, what is better, online or face to face? In your experience,
One big thing I want to ask to everyone is PT test online or face to face? Like if you have to go at the center, right? If you take a genuine PT test, it's not like you are sitting at home and you are doing it. The genuine PT test a student go for, it's never that student is sitting in a room and he's doing. What the student, there will be lots of students sitting. There will be lots of computers, lots of students sitting. So definitely go in that environment which definitely resembles the PT environment, the exam environment.
That's so true.
That's a big thing, because PT itself is not an online or home test. It's definitely you have to go at a certain place. You have to sit with other students. How will you come to know that what is going to happen at exam? And if I'm sitting in a quiet room, will I get that quietness in my exam?
Nah.
Big no. So definitely to feel that environment, to get all the things what you are going to do, what you are going to face at exam center, the teacher will definitely tell you. So big yes to face to face. I'm not saying that online is not good or something, but what you get at face to face, I don't prefer online.
I see. EnglishWise has about 8 locations, guys, so you can go for face-to-face training if you want. But some students do not have an option to go for
But the student, there will be
face-to-face
lots of students
because
sitting.
they might be in a location where there is no coaching center around their location. What can be done in that situation? And I'm so thankful to you for giving a very straight to the point answer, an honest answer. But giving you a scenario here, I want to do PT and I live in a remote area in Australia or somewhere else in any remote part of the world. What can I do in that situation?
Okay. In that case, what you can do is, whenever like you are practicing, that's fine. But whenever you're doing a mock, you have a cell phone with you, just play a little bit background sounds of students or something when you are practicing, so that you are not new to something in your exam. You can create that environment around you. Definitely we have everything on our phones, every single thing. So what you can do when you are doing a mock test at your home, you can definitely just get some background noises, not a music. It's basically students talking, a discussion or anything.
Right.
Especially whenever you are doing speaking, because speaking is the section when everyone speaks together.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's complete silence at the center. But whenever you are doing speaking, would suggest you that. And online classes, when you are attending, go for group sessions, because there are lots of students. You can definitely have the same vibe from there.
That's a good advice.
Yes.
Right. Thank you. It's not really a controversial question, but a lot of institutes out there.
Yes.
As much as we would like students to come to EnglishWise to study, how can a student make an informed decision as to which institute is the best for them? Like on how can they assess? Because there's quite a few providers out there. So how can they know that this is the place to be?
Someone that provides you with good knowledge, definitely. Don't look for money. Don't look for anything else, that how much is the popularity, how much is the thing. I would say, like, not in English, I want to say, there is a phrase in Hindi, I would say, in my own mother tongue language, jo dikhta hai wo bikta, something like that. The same thing I want to say. Wherever you get a good knowledge, whenever you go to a center or an institute, always ask the tutor to assess you. And then and there you will come to know what is going on. If you have already taken a PTE, show them your score report. Just ask them, where am I lacking? Why I got the less score? Don't judge on, what's the less price, what's this thing, and these kind of stuff. Look, just check yourself only. You have your skill profiles in your PT test. Just look at those. You can definitely get a good answer. Do read alouds for them and just ask them, where am I wrong? So definitely you'll come to know that, shall I go for that? This is our thing. What am I doing with my students? I never just go and straight away, consult them or something. I sit with them, I assess them, and I guide them that this is the thing.
Yeah. I think what students can do is like a trial, basically.
Yes.
If not a trial, if you've done PT, get yourself assessed, and then you listen and you will know if the knowledge is there, how in-depth knowledge they have, how much experience they have.
Yes.
But is there any formula to assess this? Because let's say I'm a student and I go to the institute, get myself assessed. What things do I need to really check? Does it make sense? So, like, if we can dive a little bit deeper into this question.
Yes.
How can I really know if this is the right place or this is the right tutor for me?
Okay. Let's take an example. There are two tutors, and one of the tutor, while assessing, he just said, "You are wrong in summarized written test. You need to change something." That something is, and another teacher says, "Your summarized written text is wrong. Maybe you have not added good proper nouns. Maybe you have added some decimals in there. Maybe you have done that. So tell me, have you done something that in your PT exam while attempting written text?" The student will reply and they can have a good conversation.
Hmm. That's a good answer. If there's no conversation flowing,
Yes.
then there is a problem, because most likely the trainer is not quite experienced or doesn't really have in-depth knowledge of the subject.
Exactly.
Because otherwise, the teacher would engage more in conversation. There will be a little bit back and forth in terms of questioning.
Definitely.
Hmm.
Because something is like, if I say something is
Good
wrong,
one.
what is wrong? We don't know.
Yeah.
Until unless you get a detailed and exaggerated answer, you are sorted.
Yeah. You should expect detailed feedback,
Yes, definitely.
not superficial feedback.
No.
And that's how you know which tutor or which institute you go for.
Yeah, definitely. The same thing. If I gave you something, if I tell you that your open response represents your essay, and if you see, if a known PTE teacher, if you see the open response is less, he gonna say your essay is wrong. What's the difference?
Yeah.
That's the thing. So if someone is telling you what is wrong in essay, maybe your structure, maybe your spellings, vocab, anything.
Can I get my score just watching YouTube videos?
Yes.
You already answered.
Yes.
I know it's a generalized question, but is it possible?
Yes. But somewhere no as well. I am just like not saying a big yes or a big no. It's in between. Why I would say, you're gonna watch lots of YouTube videos. Someone suggests watch A, someone suggests watch B, someone suggested watch C. If you're consistent to one, only A, that's a good thing. You can get the score. But what about the feedback? How you gonna know that you are right or wrong? If I told you, if you can frame A like this, it doesn't mean that you can do this thing. It's never the same. Until unless I can check, are you doing the same thing? So through YouTube videos, you can get lots of knowledge. You can go and sit in the exam, get desired score. But I won't say like out of 100%, if I talk 30 to 35% can get their score. Otherwise, no.
Right. So, would you advise someone to watch YouTube videos, try to learn as much as they can from free content, free resources, and sit for the exam, or they must go for the training before they sit for like even their first attempt?
They can do both. If you are getting knowledge from everywhere, just gain it. It's no harm. Still, I myself watch YouTube videos.
Yeah, coaching would be must?
Yes.
Okay.
Training is must. You definitely need a mentor or a trainer in your life.
I think that's a good way to put it. You definitely need a mentor, if not really an institute for coaching.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely it's the answer. I myself watched lots of videos, like what's new in the market, what's going on around, everything,
Right.
definitely. But we definitely, one person who we are looking at, okay, he or she is the one that can take me on the track. That's the
That's
thing.
right. Yeah, it's important even on YouTube. Who do you follow?
Yes.
Stick with one person. That's
Yes.
also important. True. Do you, I mean, I am trying to still figure out like 10 years down the line, why do students struggle to get PT score in the first or the second attempt? Like it's so normal. Like on an average, students would sit for at least 4 to 5 times, and that's almost costing them more than $2,000. Why do you think this is the case? Why students end up taking so many PT tests?
I answered this question before as well, that students are not understanding what PT wants from them. They are just learning the sections, but they still, many of the students don't know what PT exactly want, what PT is actually judging, what PT is actually trying to say. Once they get this thing, I can share my experience. I have a big example. One of my students, she was not aiming for much. She was like, she said, from last 20 years, I have not studied. And her age might be 50 prox. She came to me and she told her experience. And she just needed 50 overall, not each, I would say. And even I was like, what we should do, because someone who has not studied from last 20
Quite challenging.
years, even 50 is a small thing, definitely, but this is the thing. What I personally did, I explained her in speaking section, what you have to do is just keep on speaking, because speaking is marked on your fluency, not your pronunciation. If you are getting a good score in your speaking, don't worry about others. I just made her practice speaking. She keep on doing. And you know what was her score in speaking? She got 62 in her speaking, and other sections were around 48, 49, and one of the section 50, because speaking gives lots of points to the other portions. So definitely, if they are good with speaking, and her overall was 53.
Fantastic. So she
Yes.
did get
in
the score
first attempt.
in first attempt.
Yes.
So what I understand here is it's important that, again, you must have a tutor or a mentor, because if you have, then this person can make a strategy
Yes.
for you, customized for you, and also guide you as to what's important,
Yes.
where you should focus. However, what we see is students just watch videos online, do some random mock tests, and appear for the exam again and again.
Yes.
And once they have failed like 4 or 5 times, they realize they need training now.
Yes.
And they don't want to spend because they've already spent a couple of $1,000, which is very sad. I feel quite frustrated at times.
That's
because we are willing to book the test but not invest on training. What do you think? Why do you think that is? Because you have been a student yourself, international student yourself in Australia. Why do you think students are reluctant to go for coaching? Why do they want to bargain compared to not really worrying about booking the PT test, which is now $460?
Yes.
Why do you think that is? I'm just curious to know. Seriously, I've been trying to find an answer to this.
I just want one answer from like when our parents were earning and we were a kid. Have we ever thought of like what we want to buy or anything? We never thought of money thing. But when we are just making money our own self, we are working hard, then we become messiah and we are like, wherever we can bargain, just go for that.
Yeah.
Students are working very hard, and the uni fees and so many things, accommodation charges are so high. So definitely they go for bargaining just to save wherever we can. But in my personal opinion, when it comes to your education or learning, never ever think about money, honestly, because education and learning is the only thing that can take you to the great higher steps and everywhere. So never ever just think about, if you are getting a good knowledge, you can definitely, I told you the way how you can check where to invest and where not when it comes to the centers. But if someone is giving you really something important, then will say go for it.
Okay. Any short formula, success formula for PT?
Yes.
Or it really, like, there's a lot of factors?
Not lot of factors. The big thing for PT is understand what PT says. Your skills are required, not your cramming power. Focus more on your speaking and listening. If you're going good with that, everything is good and you are going to get your desired score, definitely.
Okay. True.
Yes.
A lot of websites out there, practice softwares. Which one to use? We have one. EnglishWise has one. There's quite a few out there. What's your opinion on that one? Not being partial here, because you work in EnglishWise. If there's a student out there, he or she has a choice of, let's say, 4 or 5 softwares, practice softwares, where should this person go for practice?
Okay, so every portal, whatsoever, every software, every website has their own materials, own things, own AI. Everyone judges like accordingly. So use any software where you get number of mocks, number of practice questions, a little bit of explanation videos. You can practice anywhere and any portal, but make sure you get the feedback from your teacher. That's a
Right.
plus. Use any website with good number of questions, mock tests that provide you lots of, resources, I would say. Strategy videos, lots of resources should be there in that portal. But if you're practicing on the portal, get your tutor's feedback. Never rely on that AI, honestly.
Yeah, that's why I was coming to, because all these mock tests from different softwares give you different type of scoring.
Yes.
So students are like, which one do I believe in? Like, which one should I consider?
Yeah. That's
So,
the only thing like
right.
teachers should tell. And if we talk about that Pearson score tests that PT
Yes.
usually gives,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
One of my student, she took that Pearson test. I preferred her just go for it because I heard that if you're getting a score in there, you are going to nail it in your PT test. Honestly, she got just 56. She was aiming for 65 each.
Yep.
She got 56 in her Pearson and she has already booked her exam. Even I was worried if this test is giving her 56, how she gonna go 60 like 5? And she was practicing on EnglishWise portal as well and she was getting 60, 61, 62 there as well. I was quite concerned. I was more concerned for that Pearson test, not she got in EnglishWise. I was
Right.
like, if Pearson is giving this, what I need to do then?
Yeah.
I told her just give your best, whatsoever you have learned, and she has got 78 in her PT test just recently, a week
Wow.
back.
I see.
Yes.
So this is interesting. So you can't really rely on any software,
Nah,
not even
not
the
at all.
official Pearson practice software. Have to have a mentor there or trainer who can, because I think you could see her potential.
Definitely.
You had not a feeling, I would say, but you could see that this girl, if she does all the right things in the exam, she can score more than 65,
Yes.
which she did.
Yes.
Right.
That's a
right. That makes a lot of
big
sense.
thing.
I think that's a very good answer. And yeah, I think if you have someone who can guide you, you have more confidence as to when to book the exam.
Yes, definitely.
My last question is, so many students feel that English is not feel, this is the fact, English is not their first language. All these students who go for the exam, and they feel that because they don't have English as a background, as their first language, there's a good chance that they will not make it in the first go. What are your thoughts on that?
That's definitely a fact. Mostly, like if you come across students, you'll get 80% of the students like this.
Yeah.
I have been teaching because at EnglishWise here, and I have taught at other places as well. There are lots of Italian, Mexican, and Philippines diverse students.
Yes.
It's like everyone says we are not good at English. Can we go for PT? Shall we go for PT? When it comes to IELTS, I would say a person like who doesn't have a good communication skills in English will suffer. But when it comes to PT, you don't need to worry about anything. Whether
Right.
you are good, proficient, average, or anything, you have a good skill and you are ready to know tip and tricks. You can get it because PT is the test, which is like an AI software. I would say that is definitely AI software, and IELTS is completely a human-based test. So definitely there is a big difference between a machine and a human.
Absolutely.
So you can
Yes.
definitely crack something which is related to something programming or software.
Yes.
It's hard to make fool to a human as
Yeah.
compared to the machine.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Thank you so much. It was a lovely conversation. I would say you answered everything with so much of clarity, and that clarity shows the confidence and the experience that you've gained over the years. And with this clarity, I feel that we all can be assured that her tips and her information that she shared today can be really useful for you in the exam. I have a strong feeling a lot of people watching this video, watching this show, will get their desired score just executing what you said today.
Okay.
So I am really happy that we were able to share the knowledge that will help so many students to get over the line. It's a very crucial test. It can make or break their future here in Australia. And thank you so much for coming today and sharing so much information.
Thank you
and
so
knowledge.
much
Thank you.
for inviting me and having me here. Hope the thing PT will be more clear to the students now what they exactly need to do, and they will get their desired score. So all the best to the students who are practicing for their PT. You will get your desired score, follow good tips and tricks, and everything is good to go.
That's awesome. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.